again. I just posted some short videos. All of it was a collective drive today. There was one of the sets of condos that we passed had a fire a few years ago, and there's still a lot of fire damage there. I'm going to give a spoiler. I put in the title of that short video that I put in the title, "Can you spot the fire damage?" It is close to the end. I almost turned the camera back to look at it, but where I was sitting, there's stickers on the window, and it just would have looked really bad. So I let Cole's Corner know that I was going live. I put in the title of this one that there's going to be some short, semi-original poetry. And, you know, they're just little things that get stuck in my head. And I don't know if I said them to my children or, you know, whatever. Yeah, I used to make up little songs for my children all the time. And, you know, with things that happened when I was growing up, there was somebody who, by grade 7, and I think she was actually a year older than most of us in that class, she went by a nickname, and the reasoning was because she couldn't spell her first name. So one of the first songs I kind of created for my children, excuse me, and I continued it with my grandchildren, was spelling out their name. And my children have very long names. They have a first name, 2 middle names, and a nice short last name. So, yeah, so I made up for the short last name with, you know, with each child having 3 names. We didn't kind of recycle names for each child, so they, I had my children girl, girl, boy, so they knew what their name would have been had they been the other gender. And my children are so old that finding out the gender was a very new thing around the time that I had my second child, and it was still not something that was offered on a regular basis when I had my third child. So I had decided that the only way that I would find out what the gender was before the child was born is if I had amniocentesis, which is a lot more accurate than just looking at an ultrasound. So, because sometimes you can think you see things that aren't there and think you don't see things that are there, and, you know, it could just be a bad angle or whatever. So, yeah. We didn't know the genders until delivery time. You know, we had our suspicions, but, you know, you've got a 50-50 shot of being right, you know. So, we picked out names for both genders, and they were each 3, a first name, 2 middle names, and the last name. So, because we did not have boy, boy, girl, I can tell you what those names were without hurting my children's feelings too terribly much, even though they don't watch this channel. So, well, one of them does. So, the first one, if she was a boy, her name would have been Glenn Aaron Matthew. And the weird thing about Glenn was, hi, Cole's Corner, it was the only single syllable name out of the whole 9, 18 names, I guess. And there was one name that was kind of recycled. One of Aaron. If my first child was a boy, it would have been Glenn Aaron Matthew. I think Glenn was with one N, and then Aaron would have been Aaron. But when we had our second child, not telling which name it is, but one of the three is Erin, Erin. So we kind of recycled that one. Yeah, so the second name for the boy would have been Ryan Thomas Gregory. And the funny thing about that name is when my daughter and I worked at a fast food place together around the time that she was 15. And one of our coworkers was named Ryan. And for some reason, he decided to tell us his middle name. And it was Thomas. So I just burst out laughing. He's like, "What is wrong with that name? What is wrong with you?" So I said that, if said child was a boy, her name would have been Ryan Thomas Gregory. And he's just like, whoa. I don't think he had come across that kind of a close connection with names either. And my last one, my son, would have been Rebecca Rose Catherine. And that one was, I guess there is another single syllable name. I was wrong. There were 2 out of 18 names that would have been single syllable. That one broke a rule. So it was kind of a good thing that he ended up being a boy, because I really, those names went together so well. I couldn't have substituted Rose for anything else, and that was actually, still is, my mother-in-law's name. So it is still her name. She is kind of sort of still my mother-in-law. Yeah, while the father of my children and I have been separated for I'm thinking it's right around the 7-year mark, because it was in, I think it's just over 7 years. It was in November that the actual separation happened. So, yeah, we have been uncoupled for over 7 years. So, yeah, we still get along fairly well, and life goes on. Now let's get to this poetry. One is, I like to call this series Look at Me. So I do tend to go a little bit fast. So it's, look at me, look at me, look at me now. Why have a horse when you could have a cow? Yes, 7 years. Look at me, look at me, look at me then. Why have a chick when you could have a hen? I don't know. Where does the time go? Almost done with this one. Look at me, don't turn away. For better or worse, I'm here to stay. So that's that series. I don't know if it actually is anything, but there is one that I know started with an actual, I think, nursery rhyme, and then I kind of made my own verses. So I think it's called To Market or Jiggity Jig, I don't know. The first 2 verses, I believe, are actually part of this rhyme. So it's to market, to buy a fat pig, home again, jiggity jig. to market, to buy a fat hog, home again, jiggity jog. And then the ones that I made up. I can go on and on. I don't think I've ever written it down, but I think it a lot. To market, to buy a new fence. Oh crap, I can't remember how that one ended. Oh great. I could rattle these off when I'm just, not online. Then I might, just blurt out some more of those because they're kind of fun and they rhyme a little bit. Then there's the old woman stuff. Everybody knows there was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children she didn't know what to do, and it keeps going. But mine are a little different. There was an old woman who lived in her shoes. She had too many children and not enough booze. There was an old woman who lived in a house. She had so many children, her food was a mouse. That's not exactly how that started, but they just kind of come out. This one might get me dinged. There was an old woman who lived in a boot. She had lots of guns and no bullets to shoot. There was an old woman who lived in a hat. She had no children, but she had a cat. Just little things like that just pop into my head and, give me a little chuckle. So, yeah, when I actually write things down, every time I rewrite it, it's different. Like I'll change a word here or there, or if I try to write a story and write it in longhand and try to type it in a computer, I change the entire thing. Like maybe one or two lines are the same and then the rest of it is like, how did you get from here to here? So anyway, yeah, that was fun. So thank you. I have 3 people watching. That's so exciting. Oh, but nobody's liked it yet. Let's fix that. I have 1 like now. So, yeah, I think I've kind of been in a little bit of a funk since, the weather changed. And, we don't have much sunlight. At 7:30 this morning, it was -4 degrees Celsius, and now it is 6:15 in the evening, and it's -3. We did go out we went shopping. We went to Walmart, but that was boring. And then my oldest went to visit the middle child and do some baking. So they get to make a mess over there instead of over here. That's always fun. So, not sure I only know who one of the people watching is. I know I don't count. I have 2 likes. Thank you, whoever liked. Yeah, so I only know that Cole's Corner is watching because she's commented, and I told her I was going live, and sometimes some of her family joins in. So, Cole's Corner came and visited me last week in person and everything, live in living color, and it almost didn't happen because my grandchildren were over, and I tried to be clever in how I told her that they were here. I said that the snot spreaders were here because, one of them goes to school, and a side effect of going to school is everybody spreads germs. So, yeah. Since my grandson's diagnosis as being on the autistic spectrum, he was never actually expected to wear a mask in school. And so that doesn't help him. He was in pre-K last year, and he's in kindergarten this year, and has been officially diagnosed. So that's exciting, because my daughter kind of suspected from before he was actually a year old that there was something developmentally different. Not bad, not, she couldn't put a finger on it, put a word to it, but it was different. So, it was, that diagnosis was, I'm still excited. I kind of want to, do a little happy dance and squeal and whatever. So, yeah. I got some interesting pictures from Cole's Corner today, and I had to look twice at the second one and more than twice at the first one. And I told her that I had to I told her what my first thoughts were of the pictures. Excuse me. But I figured out what they were before she actually told me, but yeah, she's doing some renovations, and I got a picture of part of the renovations, an inside and an outside picture. So I was kind of entertained by what my first thoughts were. So I believe it's going to be awesome when they're done. It is. That hole's actually a little bit smaller than I thought it would be, but it is what it is, and for that kind of thing, it's better to go a little smaller than a little bigger, because you're filling it with something, and you can always make the hole bigger. It's a lot harder to make the hole smaller. So, did I do good about being cryptic and not telling anybody what is being done? Your Instagram page. I have not looked at your Instagram yet. I did figure out, I think I figured out how to put music on those videos. I watched 2 of them, and the music stops partway through, and I don't know if it starts up again, but yeah, in the first 2 videos there were voices that I wanted to cover up, and in all the videos that I put music on, there was a radio playing in the background, and you could actually tell what songs were playing. So I am fantastic. Aw. So yeah, since it is about 20 after 6, and I'm gonna do something I don't usually do. I'm gonna show you outside. So it is very dark outside, and the sun comes up between 8 and 9, I think, and it was starting to set when we were doing that drive out to Walmart. And because we didn't come right home, we went to my daughter's, and there's a lot more houses in there, and I don't want to show addresses. I mean, addresses of businesses, that's fine, because you can Google the business. And if anybody wants to know, we were just going north along St. Albert Trail, and it was, I was just trying to show, what the piles of snow for what was cleared out of the parking lots. And then it was just, just keep going, because I missed a couple of really big snow piles. So my nose is bugging me. Oh, okay. I'm going to show you outside again so that I can change a look. See my butterflies up there, my music notes up here. Not much better, but better. So, anyway. Yeah, I went and spent money that I shouldn't have, but now I am flat broke again. So, oh yeah, I was talking about why I was kind of in a bit of a funk. Because, yeah, we don't get much sunshine a day, and if I do what I have been doing and sleep till like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, then I see little or none of it. So I think that's part of why I've been in a bit of a funk. And I just kind of have to put on my big girl pants and yeah, just kind of get on with life and don't let time slip by. Like, I didn't go online for over a week, and that's not very good. Yeah, I'm still at 64 subscribers. That, kind of, I think I should have a little bit more, but most of my videos average 7 views, so, I don't know what I'm expecting, but I'd like to have more subscribers, but can't force people. And just try and, I don't know, create poetry that other people like, I guess. One of my least favorite versions of Roses Are Red was said to me by people who didn't like me. It was, I think, roses are blue, violets are dead, the sugar bowl is empty, and so is your head. So that was a not nice version. Yeah, one of those people who did that sing-songy thing around me. One of those people didn't like me because she said I was too nice. Yeah, I miss summer already. It's very nice right now outside because it's not too slippery. It will be because the temperature does go above 0. I, periodically look and, when I think about it, and sometimes actually make a mental note to remember, like the 7:30 this morning, it being -4. I was like, hey, I gotta remember that. I should go on YouTube and say, hey, it might be a little, it might look really cold, but it's not that cold. So, yeah, my head just keeps jumping from one thing to another. I have 5 viewers right now. Wow, that's exciting. I only told one person I was going on. So, yeah, Cole's Corner suggested that I get a happy light. And those are regular lights, but they're special because it's a light that's most like sunshine, so it's most like natural light. And I'm kind of gonna have to look into that because the light that I have currently is for Google Smart Homes, and so I can turn it on, I can turn it off, I can make it dimmer. I think it's at 75% right now. But yeah, it was It's something that I definitely should look into, but I want to keep the Google light. I just want it to work so that I'm back down to 3. Thank you, 3, for staying. um, yeah, I popped on to Nerd Report for a little while, and he posted a link to call in, and I'm blocked from calling in. I don't know why, but I was like, okay, fine. I'm not watching anymore today. So, yeah, it's... He'll unblock me eventually. And, yeah. He did a live stream last night, and I think 5 of my comments were put on the screen, and well, 2 of them were questions. I don't remember if he read the first one, but he read the rest of them that he put on the screen. It was kind of funny because he was way far back in the chat, and he's asking questions and expecting answers, and he's like 5-10 minutes behind. Oh, I'm down to 2. Well, I know one of them is Cole's Corner. Yeah, I don't think I'll stay on for much longer today. It is a day. Yeah. I think I've kind of run out of things to say, but once in a while I'll spurt off another blurb of poetry just because it pops into my head, and then it'll pop out of my mouth, and it'll probably be completely off topic and make people wonder what the heck I'm talking about. So, yeah. I am going to look at my analytics after I finish this, see how many viewing hours I have, because I'm very sure that I'm going to reach 1,000 viewing hours long before I reach 1,000 subscribers. So the last time I looked at how many videos I had, it was over 90, and I posted 4 before I came on, so this is my 5th one today. So yeah, if you get notified, awesome. I know there's at least one person who does get notified, and I like to notify some people so that I at least have one viewer. And, comments can guide the conversation and pull me back on track or totally send me on a new track. So, yeah, I'm just looking through the comments because they're all out of context now. Yeah, I think I've responded to all of them very well. So, yeah, I've been officially separated for 7 years. And I like to blurb poetry. I sing things to tunes that just come into my head, like one of the things that I did for my kids was, oh, I thought for sure you were one of the people who was still here. I was talking to 2 people who weren't you. Okay, that was a sidetrack. Oh yeah, I would sing the alphabet to different songs. So, my favorite was Mary Had a Little Lamb, because that was one of the first ones I did. And I've got to remind everybody that I am Canadian. I say Zed. And I think that there are enough letters that rhyme. We don't need to add one more. We can, try and take one away without taking away a letter. So, here I go. Oh, yeah, I should have just started and then had you guess the tune, but I guess that's not going to happen now. I might do another one after, just to, shake things up. But to the tune of Mary Had a Little Lamb. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs, ABCs, ABCs. Now I know my ABCs. Next time won't you sing with me? I always say no when I hear that. I watched some Winnie the Pooh this morning. Both. Drifting from last night into this morning. Oh, I have to make a phone call when I'm done this. Because I want to get permission to mention some stuff. That, it is stuff that's public knowledge if you're in certain areas, and not necessarily public knowledge if you live where I live. So I want to officially get some permission to mention some stuff. Yeah. That's weird. Oh, that is from today. Anyway. Yeah. Anything new and or exciting with any of you? Got 4 people now. Yay. I kind of ruined Winnie the Pooh for my children when they were growing up. Because the theme song goes, Winnie the Pooh, and then there's a little chime, or a beat, or whatever. And Winnie the Pooh again. And usually, willy-nilly, silly old bear. No, it's not. That's the end of it. But during that little musical blurb, I would say head. So my kids would hear, Winnie the Pooh head, Winnie the Pooh head. Fluffy little something all stuffed with fluffies, Winnie the Pooh. And then, I'd continue with that. Oh, I have discovered that there is a way that I might actually sing karaoke. I might actually participate in a karaoke night. Because when Popcorn Planet and Nerd Report and Stuff the Alter Nerd and company had that big meetup in Vegas, they had a karaoke night for part of their visit. And they were just in a relatively small room. It wasn't the full bar that could hear what was being done at karaoke. So it was, it was this group of friends who, whether they had the mic or not, they were singing along, and it just made it so much, it made me feel like I could do it. So you don't necessarily have to be holding the mic to sing, and yeah, I might actually do it if I'm in that kind of a situation. But to go to a bar where they have a big karaoke night and it's everybody in the bar who, picks a song and sings it, and everybody in the bar listens. Okay, one thing about karaoke is you always, every time without fail, always applaud for the person. And here's why. Some people, you applaud because they're good, they're amazing singers, and they need encouragement. Others, you applaud because they're finished. And then you take the mic away from them, and you hope that their turn doesn't come up again before you leave. But yeah, you always clap at karaoke when you're in a public situation. Always, always, always. Because, you don't want to be the person who gets no applause. Because everybody's staring going, what the F? But, yeah. What else should I talk about? Let's do a little Name That Tune. Christmas is coming, so we'll do when I kind of made a game of this with my kids, because they were asking me questions and the answer was always no, because they wanted to do something, they wanted to have a treat, they wanted to, and we had somewhere to be and we had to get ready and we had to do whatever. So I found myself saying no, 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 and then I had a tune in my head, so I just decided to, instead of la 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 to whatever tune was in my head, I just no no no'd. So we now have a tradition that we don't always do, but we know Christmas carols. We don't K-N-O-W know them. We N-O them instead of L-A. La la la. No no no. Let's see. So should I know them or should I ABC them? Just waiting for a response from anybody. We could alternate. But it's easier for me to keep track if I'm just knowing, of where I am in the song. How about, we'll start with the alphabet. We'll go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know the alphabet. Next time, please sing with me. Next time, please sing with me. I kind of got lost a little bit in there. Any guesses on what that song was? Okay, now I'm gonna switch up a little bit and go no 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 no, no, no. I'm still waiting for guesses for the first one. So I'm wondering, out of the 4 people watching, who thinks I'm absolutely bonkers? What else can we do? We don't have to do Christmas carols. Could do theme songs for TV shows, movies, if you know any. I'm going to look into StreamYard because I'm sure there's a way I can do it through my phone where I go live and can post a link and people can call in. You don't have to show your face like Cole's Corner. You could just show your, your little CC. So that would be cool because then people could hear you and we could we could talk over each other in real time. And is that something you would be interested in doing? And we could try that one day. But I don't think very many people would call in, because I only have 4 people watching, and right now Cole's Corner is the only one who's making comments, so I'm pretty sure she'd be the only one who would call in, and I don't know if she wants to call in. So, I mean, if it's a possibility, let me know, and I will look into it more, and because I want to be interactive more than just me talking about stuff. Yeah, I like reading. I like reading out loud, but I think I would get dinged for copyright on a lot of the stuff that I would want to read. I have a friend who was really into the Harry Potter movies, and she knew that she would like the books better, but she's not really big into reading. So I had started to, excuse me, I had started to do books on tape for her. And I think I got up to the 5th. I don't like my singing voice. I sing better with a crowd of people or with music. Excuse me. I don't remember. Oh, Cole's Corner, you lost my train of thought. Okay, another thing I don't like doing is reaching for my drink, because I don't have it with me. And sometimes you can hear the stuff on my floor. Oh, that was an extreme close-up. Ew. So, yeah, please let me know what you think about, the possibility of calling in. And, yeah, calling into other channels is basically what gave me the courage to start my own channel. And, for better or for worse, that's what I've done. So, oh, that feels better. Now, if I could only figure out what I was talking about before. Just talking about calling in. Yeah, if anybody is interested in that, I can look into it. That is definitely something that is in my set of goals that I want to do. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What's coming up in my life? My sister's birthday is next week. Probably shouldn't say what day next week, although I just, did the mental math and figured it out. Yeah, let's see. I'm sure we have more family birthdays, because I don't know my cousin's children's birthdays. I know my niece and nephew's birthdays from my side of the family that I grew up with. Don't know all the birthdays from the nieces on the other side. I know that they're in December, and they usually celebrate on the same day. But I don't know what their actual birth dates are. Yeah, I was very vain. Well, I didn't think I was vain, but apparently I was when I met my husband's family. I was kind of, I was nervous. I had every right to be nervous, because not only was I meeting almost his entire family at once, I was already pregnant and we weren't married. So just imagine that meeting of your in-laws, the first time you meet them, knowing that, you know, the whole premarital sex thing, the whole nine yards is just shuffled, and there's a fairly large age gap between the man I married and myself. And yeah, what are your goals? Or is that a topic suggestion? Um, yeah, I wanted my now husband, then not even engaged to be married person, to make sure that his nieces knew that I wasn't always fat. Because back then, like when I was a teenager, I had a little bit of a tummy, but if you saw me straight on a frontal view or a view from behind, you didn't know. So, and I didn't really dress like somebody who had weight issues. I say issues kind of funny because issues can go either way. Yeah, the overeating I did as a child and teenager didn't affect me until after I was pregnant, so I was kind of worried about what my nieces, what my now nieces thought about me then, because they were, I think, 6 and 8, and, impressionable and opinion forming, and probably a little more brutally honest than I would like them to be, but they were shy, so they, they kind of kept their opinions to themselves for the most part. I've never actually heard them call me auntie or aunt or whatever, because when we're in the same room or on the phone, we just start talking. So, and, if they're talking to me or talking about me to somebody else, it's like, oh, well, she. So, yeah, I don't think I think the only person I've heard call me Auntie Carrie was my sister's daughter. And I started thinking either earlier today or really late last night about pictures. We did a 4 generations shot after I had my first child. And I'm kind of sad that we didn't actually do generation shots with the other two as such. Because, we had a 4 generation shot with my mom's side of the family. There was my grandma, my mom, me, and then my oldest. And we could have done it with the other two, but of course we didn't think about that. I was in a 5 generation shot with my dad's side of the family, and it was kind of interesting because it was both male and female in that one, and the other one just kind of felt more natural because it was all women, than just all female, I guess. The 5 generations was my Oma, so my children's great grandmother, my dad, their grandfather, me, and then my daughter and her oldest son. So, unfortunately, Oma wasn't around anymore for the birth of the second son. I don't think she was around at all. It was, pretty sure my daughter was, pretty sure she was still pregnant when when I broke the news about having officially lost myoma, because parts of the family tree which are no longer connected to me, they are not persona non grata. Well, they are, but they're not. But they're definitely, I don't consider them family. So, because family does not do that to people. Basically, this branch of the family tree saw my oma as a great big dollar sign. So that kind of, well, I was like, we would have discussions about, what do you want when I'm gone? Because I remember her trying to figure out if my brother or I were going to get her car. And I was like, I don't want stuff. I want memories. I want knowledge. I want to know stuff about you as opposed to wanting money. So, well, good thing I didn't want money because I didn't get a dime. Yeah, this branch of the family tree had her completely separated from everybody except them. And I don't know what all happened in that last, 8 to 10 months of her life. But, yeah, there was no reaching out. I had no idea how to get a hold of them, and she had a phone number for me, but never attempted to use it. So, yeah, they sold her house and basically sold everything they could. Before they sold the house, they tore it down because she grew up in the 30s, so she learned to stash things in really odd places. And yeah, so basically they had to check the walls for everything, so because they didn't want to miss out on any money. So it was bad. So yeah, they had her completely separated from the rest of the family so that they could tell her whatever they wanted to tell her about, I mean, I'm sure that they said that they talked to me and I didn't want to have anything to do with her. But I have to trust that she knew the truth, that I was not visiting her for money. I was not, I wasn't associating with her so that she would remember me in her will. And I don't even know if there was a will reading or if she had changed her will or any of that stuff, because in the end, she had signed a piece of paper saying that she didn't even want us to know if she was alive or not. So there was some serious manipulation going on. Which is why that branch of the family tree is no longer connected to me. I think that after you get to a certain age, you can prune that family tree. You can you can associate with the family members you want to, and tell the others to take a hike, Mike. No, that is not in reference to my cousin Mike. That's just because it rhymed, but yeah, I love my cousin. The ones that I still consider cousins is like 2.5 of them, as opposed to the 4 that there actually are. I'm not sure quite how I feel about one, because to my knowledge, that one wasn't a part of the push, pull, manipulation, gimme of the rest of that family. So Yeah. I I am one to believe that what people want for their final wishes is up to them. And regardless about how anybody else feels, what they're owed or whatever, like even my best friends growing up, they tried to have that conversation with me, like, oh, what do you want me to leave you when I go? And I was like, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. You're not allowed to. So I was like, yeah, I'm not a stuff person. Yes, I like to have stuff, but um, if I don't get, a chair or a piece of crystal or, anything that's just like a token, that if I don't get that, I don't care. I want to have known you. I want to have the memories that we had, that we made, that we, the experiences of knowing people as opposed to inheritance. Because yeah, when we lost my grandpa, everything went to my grandma because that's just how it worked. Because the wills were done like in the event of, and there was a significant age difference between my grandparents as well. Um, so they kind of knew which one was going to go first. Barring accidents. And then when my grandma was gone, I don't know if there was a reading of the will. I don't know if, I don't know how things worked, because if there was an actual official thing, I wasn't included in it. I think the stuff was just left to her children, and they were meant to divide it up however they saw fit. So, I mean, we did get a slight monetary amount, but it it was just basically my mom gave us a portion of what she got. So it was her children that were considered in the will, not all the grandchildren. Now, with my mother-in-law, when she lost her husband, everything went to her, because that's kind of how it goes with the surviving spouse. And she has made some decisions that some people don't agree with. I'm kind of on the fence, because I think that, what she wants is what she wants. And I know both her and my, I want to say former father-in-law, like they would have agreed that things would be done this way, because unfortunately in the Asian culture, being male has privileges. And yeah, most of their grandchildren were female, and there was one boy. So things might be different now that there's another generation. So yeah, they can do the I guess on that side they can do the 4-generation shot, because grandma, parent of child. So there are 3 great-grandchildren on that side, 2 boys and 1 girl. So the boys are still in the same clump. So basically, she kind of basically picked one son to favor out of her 3 children, and so it was decided many, many years ago that my son is getting her house. That might be different now. Oh, okay. My mom just texted me that I have mail. Okay. My parents' house is my mailing address. So, itchy face. Yeah, my mom is somebody that I want to call tonight, but I should definitely make that other phone call sooner rather than later because there's a time difference and it's later where I have to call or message or whatever. So, yeah, I'm gonna end the stream kind of midway through the story, but I don't even know how that story ends anyway because, you know, the mother-in-law is still around and kicking. So, and of sound enough mind that she can still change her will and change her mind and do stuff like that. Anyway, lots of respect. Stay safe, everyone. All four of you. Everyone. Yeah, I will definitely make more of an effort to come on a regular basis. Yeah, you can have an alias that is completely random and doesn't tell me who you are and make comments that, you know, if you think I might figure out who you are, then so be it. But don't let that stop you from making comments and asking questions because, hey, you might be surprised at the answers you get. I'm assuming that there are maybe one or two people that I know who watch the stream and don't necessarily want me to know that they're watching. So, anyway, I am going to go. It's been over an hour. Cole's Corner, if I have time, I will call you tonight, but I have a couple phone calls to make first, and you and I are in the same time zone. So, lots of respect. Stay safe, everyone. Bye.